hi everybody. Hi Kelsey.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's going all right. Here we are, Saturday in Ohio, 7 p.m., and so on and so forth as you go west. So
Yep.
since we highlight the Montana show on Saturdays, it's 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Well, we've got a pretty good show coming up here tonight. Um, some good and some sad. So we're going to jump right on it, and then some talking points if we have time. Um, and I want to welcome our newest destination, the Indy Great Pyrenees Rescue Volunteer page. We're now streaming to that, um, and welcome everybody from Indiana. So, and hi, Rena. Rena's watching from Washington State, kind of in the water a little bit. She lives on somewhat of an island out there, um, with the Great Pyrenees Rescue Society. So, wow, we're going to get going here, because I don't want our dogs, our guest dogs, to get bored and just curl up and go to sleep.
Right.
So, our first dog, well, we'll just bring him up, and we have a video that we put together for him. We're going to start there. Well, now, hi.
Hi
Uh,
there.
there is Mr. Rico. Wow. Uh, he's beautiful. He's a gorgeous dog.
He's very, very pretty.
And he's kind of a big guy, isn't he?
He's pretty big. He's about 105 pounds now.
Okay. For those of us that's kind of small, you'll get there. Yeah, I guess Carol had to start you, or Rebecca had to start you out small. Wow, what a boy! Now he's got a unique story, a little bit of a unique story, and the video touched on it, didn't it? What can you tell us about him?
So we were told that he was taken in from a construction site or looking after construction equipment of some kind.
Wow,
So we
wait a
don't
minute. I didn't know they did that. Oh, apparently they don't, because here he is in rescue.
exactly. Hi. So beyond that, we don't have a ton of information about his background, but he is the sweetest boy.
And he has a special talent too, doesn't he?
He knows commands in Spanish.
Yeah.
Bilingual
How
pup.
about that?
He is a bilingual pup, but he's
Yeah.
doing super good and starting to get all those commands down in English as well. So we're very proud of him.
That's amazing. And is he a pretty mellow boy? Because you have an Australian Shepherd who is they're on steroids all the time.
Yeah. So our resident dog, she's a border collie,
Oh,
and
border collie,
she,
sorry.
I mean, same energy level there. So she is a very high energized dog. Rico, meanwhile, very mellow, very happy to just hang out with us all day. Just, some cuddle time. But he does like to play with our collie as well. So sorry, he's dropped down.
Okay. And how old do we think he is?
We think he's about 5 years old.
Okay. So he's an adult.
Yes.
And I think you and I talked about one time that he may slip into a little bit of puppyhood here somewhere along the line.
That is true. And I think we've definitely seen a little bit of that.
Right. So tip of the day, they're not guard dogs, they're guardian breed. Okay.
Correct.
Guard dog will protect the construction equipment somewhat. All right. But a guardian breed kind of, well, if it doesn't go bah, they're not interested. Okay.
Hi.
And apparently nobody trained him to do it. I'm sure he could have been trained to do that, but if you don't train them to do the job at hand, they don't know how to do the job at hand.
Right.
Okay. Sometimes we expect an awful lot out of dogs, and if we lower the bar a little bit and we start helping the dog, things go much better. Now, how is he with cats?
So we do have a cat, and he is very, very good with the cat. Pretty much ignored him for the most part, but since we've had him a few weeks, he's come up and give the cat a sniff a couple times, but just out of curiosity mostly, but he has done very, very well with the cat.
And have you had any thunderstorms or gunshots or anything like that?
We live up in the mountains, so we've had several thunderstorms, and he pays them no mind.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. So far, you're describing the perfect pair. Okay. What about children?
Oh.
What about children?
We have only had a couple of instances with kids, mostly very young ones. I'm sorry.
He didn't eat them, did he?
He did not eat them. No, he actually gave the toddler we introduced him to some kisses on the face, and then that was it.
That was the incident you were talking about?
Nah.
That's a good one. Wow.
So we've only done that once, but he did very, very good. So that was very encouraging.
Good boy. What a boy. You know it.
He always tells me when I have stopped giving him pets. Tries to get my attention. Huh.
You sent quite a few pictures, and I love that one. What's the story behind that picture?
So my parents' dog recently passed away, and so they reached out to me, and they knew that we had just gotten a new foster, and asked if we would be able to make use of a dog bed. And I said, I'd absolutely love to. Oh, bless you, Rico. If I told him I would love to bring it up and see if Rico would take an interest in it. And he immediately grabbed his toy and laid down and gave us a little tongue, and that was it.
And he still likes the bed.
He loves it.
Does he ever be right side up?
Occasionally, but as we're on this call, he's mostly upside down, so he seems to be
And who do you think he likes better, mom or dad?
That's hard to say. I think he listens to dad a little bit better, but he will come to me for pets every time.
Because he thinks you're easy to get pets from, right?
He knows I will give him lots of ear scritches.
That boy is stunning.
He's a beautiful, beautiful dog.
Yeah. And man, oh man. Dale says Rico is delightful. Thank you, Dale, for joining us on the show. Come back. We got a show tomorrow, too. Okay. I don't know where you are, but the show tomorrow is at 4 p.m.
There he is.
Hey, he turned right side up.
It's the power of a snack.
Yeah, when you and I talked the other day, you mentioned that he's not a fan of the brush.
He does okay. He doesn't love it, but he does all right. But even since our last conversation, he's gotten much, much better. And again, he is just such a phenomenal dog. Like, he does so well. He's learning all of the things, and
the perfect peer.
The perfect peer.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! Did I stop loving you? I'm sorry.
Wow. It's not unusual for them to do very well with kids, but at the same time, it's not unusual to be afraid of them too.
Yeah.
Children put off weird emotions. I'm afraid of them. Okay, so, I'm not of any assistance to protect my dog. Oh, look at that! You got a
Sorry
spotlight
about
on
that.
him now. Now, have you tried to put him in the bathtub yet?
No.
Oh, that was a pretty cautious, fearful answer.
Not fearful as much, but again, when we got him, he was pretty matted, and so we've been slowly trying to get some of those knots and kinks out of his fur before we try getting him wet.
Okay. Have you been using any assistance to get the mats out, or you just happen to cut them out?
So I've done a decent job getting just being able to pick them out. He's got a few spots behind his ears that we will have to cut out.
Okay.
Um,
Now you know
because-
how they get those mats behind their ears.
I'm
We
assuming.
give them to him.
Yeah.
Rub him behind his ears.
Yeah.
Our skin is oily by nature.
Yep. But he's getting much better with the brush. So I mean, he got really relaxed and let me just very calmly and slowly brush him out the other night. So his coat is continuously, looking better
So
every day.
it's starting to make him feel better, maybe.
I think so.
All right. A little tip a groomer gave me a long time ago on
Mhm.
mats. Cornstarch.
Really?
Rub cornstarch into it.
Works
Now it's
really well.
messy, but rub cornstarch. Now if it's tight mat stuff, you really got to mess with it. Now if it's tight and pulling on the skin, he may argue with you a little bit. And always remember his paws. You might want to look just to verify it. They don't have any thumbs. So if he needs to move your hand away from that mat, he has to use his mouth. Just so you know.
Yep.
Doesn't
That's
mean
why
he's going to hurt you. It just
Yeah.
means he wants you to stop doing that for a minute. So,
And he's done that a couple times. And since, he's, a little wary of the brush and stuff, I kind of let him control the narrative like that, where if he's not feeling it, we're not going to push it.
all right. To adopt Rico, you can go out and apply. If you don't apply, well, you're not going to get anywhere. But it's Great Peer Rescue rescuegroups.org. It's up there. Read it yourself. Or you can click the convenient link we put in the description. It'll take you right to his page. So you haven't lived, if you've never owned a Great Pyrenees, like I think you said he's your first, Leela?
Yep.
Would you agree that has awakened an emotion you didn't even realize was there?
Absolutely. I didn't know I needed a great peer in my life, and now I'm very glad I have one.
There you go. How long did it take him to warm up to your resident dog, Callie?
He was really good with her almost immediately.
Okay.
We can, again, like you and I were talking about, kind of entering that puppy phase. He, was entering a new environment, had just been in a shelter for a little while. So he got along great with her, but didn't really show any interest in her for the first couple of weeks. And now he instigates play almost every day.
All right. Because you were starting to get a little worried. Now, come on, boy. I think you even said he was a little lethargic.
He was definitely a bit lethargic and didn't really seem to mind anything that was going on around him. He definitely was alerting a lot when he was in our yard, but otherwise he was very just really quiet and lethargic. But the longer we have him, the more he's opened up, and we've seen his personality, and he's just such a phenomenal dog. We love him.
Awesome. So folks, please get out to the Great Pyrenees Rescue Montana website. Let's get him adopted before she changes her mind. Okay. Either it's foster. Okay. So wow. Thank you. Now he when he was at that construction site, he had a friend, didn't he?
He did.
Okay. And we happen to have his friend here tonight, and you're gonna stay up with us, right?
Correct.
And maybe
Absolutely.
you never know, maybe they'll catch sight of each other. So folks, we're going to we're going to we're going to play Bella's little video. Wow. Hi, Erica.
Hello.
Um, wow. Do me a favor. Odin, he wanted to come on the show, and his dad said, no, you don't need to be there. Let Odin know he can come on as a happy adoption story, okay?
Okay, we'll tell him.
um, wow. I'll tell you what, we got a heck of a show here. And Bella has a heck of a story, doesn't she?
She does.
So, well, what's up with her? Why isn't she available for adoption?
So she went from the shelter to the vet with Rico, and they were going to get ready to get adopted, and they wanted to have her front left leg limp checked out. And unfortunately, they found osteosarcoma when she went to the vet. So that was Friday, July 1st. And she was already being networked for foster or adoption with Rico. But at that point, they put kind of a last-ditch request out. Can anybody give her a foster home for whatever time she has left? And we saw her, and we just thought that was the right thing to do. And so we hurried down to South Salt Lake and picked her up, and she's been here since.
Huh.
So she's joined our little family, and that's why she's not up for adoption, because of the cancer. Hey, do you want to turn around?
And how long did they give her back then?
So the vet that diagnosed her gave her about 3 months, and I don't have a ton of experience with it, but some of the other ladies in the group do. And so far, she's honestly doing quite well.
May hang in there for a little while.
What's that?
She may hang in there for a little while.
She may. We hope so. She's a good girl, and she deserves to have some good time in her life. So we're hoping for the best. Are you shy now?
For those of you fans that don't know osteosarcoma, that is bone cancer.
Bone cancer, yeah. Sorry about that.
And they don't have, there's no cure, period. All right. They're getting better at extending their life. But unfortunately, the very first treatment is the cancer that the leg or the part of the body that cancer's in has to come off, amputation. Then they go through chemo and etc. Okay. So, in order to extend the life of the dog a couple months, I don't know how far they're out now. I believe it depends on the progression of the cancer. OSU has done good strides out here in our state. They seem to be doing very, very well with their treatments. But once again, it's cancer. And cancer strikes without prejudice. It doesn't care who it is. And that's her leg right there. Does it have the lump on it yet?
No, that was one thing that everyone was surprised that she kind of doesn't have any of the lump or the bump on it. She her dew claw. Well, Bella, I guess she's camera shy now.
Well, I still see her.
Yeah, her dew claw on that left leg kind of sticks straight out instead of, and the pad seems like it might have some tumor action or something along
And they
those lines.
think that's related to the osteosarcoma?
They do, yeah, because it's on the left front where they found the cancer.
Okay.
So they
Now,
think that's part of it.
now, to me, it doesn't look like she's in pain right now.
She doesn't seem to be. She seems like her pain medication and her regime is doing pretty well. Her protocol to keep her comfortable. I work from home, so I pretty much watch her all the time for any signs of pain, discomfort, that type of thing. But yeah, she seems pretty comfortable.
Right. So, speaking of the meds, what kind of meds is she on other than the painkillers? And then if there's more than one, wow. Because
So
Rimadyl isn't a bone cancer pain med that you give out.
right. So she takes gabapentin for pain, and then she also takes a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory that I won't be able to remember the name of right now. But I work for a holistic and integrative veterinarian, so she's been helping. Angel Paws has been amazing. So she takes those two main things, and then she does some other things, some Chinese herbs that my doctor helped me with. She does some CBD oil, some things for her gut because her gut was a little rough when she got here. So some gut soothing herbs, and we've kind of been building up to all of that because she was a bit picky with eating. So I have to be careful what I put in her food. And but yeah, that's kind of what she's on right now, and she seems pretty comfortable and happy. So
And does she play with your other dog at times, or is she allowed to do that?
Not much. Normally, we wouldn't have taken a female because my dog is female. So they kind of.
What difference does that make?
What's that?
What difference does that make?
That's just what I've kind of learned from the rescue is that the female peers kind of want to be the alpha sometimes, so it doesn't always work out. If the resident dog is female, sometimes it works great, sometimes not. But so they've had a couple discussions, but nothing that safety was in fear or anything like that. So they don't really play a whole bunch. My dog wanted to play with her, but that was right at the very beginning, and she was kind of, figuring out what on earth is happening to my life right now. So she wasn't too interested.
Right. And and you make a valid point. She has no idea there's anything wrong.
Right.
Now, who's her buddy there? That's a Great Pyrenees Rescue Montana alumni for all practical purposes. Isn't
Yeah, so that's Odin, and Odin was, we'll do air quotes, to be fostered by my husband's parents, Debbie and Gary, and he was a love at first sight foster fail. So he went quickly from foster to alumni.
You know, the bad part about the Great Pyrenees is that we have more failures than not. The good
Yeah.
part about the Great Pyrenees rescue is the only job that you can get where failure is actually a good thing.
Right, yeah.
And you can't really walk her very much. So she has a new favorite thing, doesn't she?
She does. So when she first came to us, she was limping pretty badly, but then we got medications, figured out and appropriate, and she does lots better, but we still didn't want to cause pain, further damage, whatever to her leg. So we quickly found out she loves going for rides in the Jeep. And so we were doing a daily ride up until about 2 weeks ago. My dog had to have surgery. So we've had to do a quick morning around the neighborhood ride.
Gotcha.
But she loves a car ride.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. So why do we have her on the show if you can't adopt her? Well, the care that she's getting to give her this amazing life that she's probably never experienced in her life. She was at a construction site, mistaken for a German Shepherd, apparently. Okay,
Oh,
and they're the Great Pyrenees is not a guard dog; it's a livestock guardian breed, and construction equipment doesn't move. They're not interested. Okay.
right.
Besides that, the predator is supposed to be humans. Well, they do well with humans, so they will guide them to the equipment they want to steal. They'll probably help them carry it out to the car, and so that's how Rico lost his job because of human error. Okay, so and that happens. We're not perfect. We're humans. The dogs are perfect. Period. So wow. So how often do you have to give her gabapentin in a day?
So she takes her medication once every 12 hours, and we do 7 a.m., 7 p.m.
Okay.
So twice a day for her.
All right. The reason why she's on is we're asking if you can help donate to her care. Okay. Um, and if you don't, that's fine. Okay, if you can't do it, you can't do it. We're not going to be mad at you. We will make no mistake. Great Pyrenees Rescue of Montana will move mountains to make sure that girl is comfortable. Okay. And they have mountains to move too. So they're experienced. But man, you sure could make it much, much easier if you could just donate a couple dollars. There's the web address right there. There's also a link in the description to the donate page. We made it convenient. And because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know about you all, Kelsey uh, and Leela, but I have a lot of respect for that lady. Okay,
Absolutely.
there
Thank
was
you.
no way she was going to let Bella die in a shelter alone. It wasn't happening, and she didn't even know the dog. So you saw her on Facebook, right?
I did. I saw her and Rico when they first were advertised, but we weren't really supposed to have any more fosters. We had a discussion with the kitties, and they said, you need to find a different way to help. And then I just happened to look at it on my phone and saw that Bella was needing somewhere for some, hospice care. And honestly, when I asked my husband, I thought for sure he'd say no. And he said yes. So I was like, well, this must be meant to be. So, yeah.
That's because it's human nature. The shelter they don't have the means to keep her comfortable.
Right. Yeah.
They euthanize her that night, probably, right?
They were. We found that out when we got there. Our contact, Rebecca, was amazing talking with Kevin at the shelter. He actually agreed to stay after they were closing. And keep in mind, this is July 1st, so it was 4th of July weekend. So he said he would stay and wait for us because we're about an hour away. And when we got there, I said, I couldn't let her stay until Tuesday. For the long weekend, and he said, yeah, no, if we didn't find a place for her, we didn't think it would. We thought it was inhumane to leave her in her condition in the shelter. So
now they gave you some sort of medication, right?
So they gave us what they had, what they could get together. And then Tuesday, first thing, we got in touch with Angel Paws and got all the prescriptions filled. And another glorious angel from Rescue, Shelly, ran down there. So we're about an hour away and picked it all up for Bella. So
wow.
Yeah.
So this is a small village doing this.
Oh, yeah. We are definitely having a village around Bella. Yeah, lots of people invested in her. Angel Paz, the veterinarian, has been amazing. Of course, Great Pyrenees Rescue Montana is super supportive. And everybody on Facebook following her story. So definitely Bella has a village.
Yeah. And she does have quite the fan base, doesn't she?
I think she does. I try to post weekly. I'm pretty terrible at it, but I try. I've dubbed it Bella's bonus week because we were pretty shocked when we found out, and so was Rebecca, that had we not picked her up that night. So I said, well, every week from there is a bonus for Bella. So we call it Bonus Bella's Weeks. Bella's Bonus Weeks. And yeah, there's always lots of people commenting and liking her pictures. So
Wow.
she's got a bunch of love.
Now, have you given her, and I don't even know how to ask the question. Sometimes when a dog is, well, expected to do something that, well, they don't know how to do, and then they get mad, they get locked out, chained up, whatever. Have you had any indication that she had ever been into a house when you first brought her home?
I was told that she hadn't, that she had been kept outside all of her life.
And she had puppies, right? With Rico. Don't we think that?
What's that?
Didn't she have puppies too along the line?
Right. I had been told that she had never lived in a house, that she was used for kind of backyard breeding situation. She's definitely had puppies, given, her body condition. And I expected that she would maybe want to be outside because she was used to it, or be hesitant. And honestly, she really wasn't. She came right in the house. She made herself comfortable. Within a day or two, she got up on the couch. As you can see, she's quite comfortable. So she did amazing. I was really impressed. Yep, there's the couch pillow to herself.
But she also has, well, what's that? Is that a dog bed?
It is a dog bed with a sheet on it.
So the dog, you actually have a peer that actually sleeps on a dog bed.
She does, and everything that everyone had talked to me about was that the peer may or may not use it. You might be wasting your money.
Usually may not.
Yeah, only for nighttime. She doesn't sleep on it during the day. She's definitely got her little routines. So
wow. I'm glad.
I will tell you though, she definitely daytime is all about the lazy boy couch.
Yeah, lazy boy. Yeah, it would be for me too. I'd quit.
My husband is a big fan of it as well. They've done some naps on it together. I won't lie.
Wow. Now I got a burning question that I think I've asked both of you. Are Rico and Bella going to get reunited for a high day or a play day or whatever you want to call it? Are you guys close enough to be able to allow that? And part two to the question: do you think it's healthy?
Well, we actually just talked about it a few nights ago, that we might give it a shot and see if they remember each other and or like each other. I think we're close enough. We kind of didn't entirely finish the conversation, but I think we're, maybe within an hour or so of each other.
You could always meet somewhere in the middle, but
yeah,
your dog just had surgery, right?
My little dog down here in front of me, she did. So we're not very mobile right now.
No.
But once
and
Gary
Leela has a young border collie. She's not mobile right now.
She's mobile all the time.
So you might be able to make this happen. Well, if you can make that happen, let's get pictures and video.
Yeah, we'll definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Rico, from a behavior standpoint, I think that actually would be healthy.
Yeah, I don't think it would be unhealthy. Bella's been a little bit particular, and if she was used for breeding, I guess I maybe don't blame her. She actually hasn't been all that friendly towards the bigger males. The male that she didn't have a problem with was a Yorkie, so that's okay.
Well, she should have had.
Yeah, those pictures from when we went up to the parents' house with Odin, she wasn't the biggest fan, but who knows?
Wait a minute, she didn't like Odin?
She kind of just wanted to be. I know, who could not like Odin? He's an adorable ham.
I like what you called him. He's a big ham.
He is. That's what his mom calls him. She says he's a ham. But I'm quite sure she'll probably remember Rico. So
wow,
I think it'll be fun, and we'll get pictures and video if we can, and for
How
sure.
can she not remember that handsome dog right there?
I know, right?
And look at that face. He's just
Yeah. It's just amazing. I'm going to make you guys a little bit more same size so maybe they can catch a glimpse. And Kelsey, who is that?
That's Takani.
That's Takani. Now, I don't
I had
know.
to put him in camera since he finally came over.
Yeah. Now, Leela and Erica, I don't know if you're aware or not, but well, Takani's available for adoption.
He is.
Kelsey's a foster. I don't know how I landed Kelsey as being local. She owns the It's Dog or Nothing website, and people go there to learn about the breed because everything you don't have to go through Google. You go right to Kelsey's website and the attached Facebook page.
Yes.
So, but that's Takani. He's not there because he's a cupcake, because Kelsey's good with dogs.
He's been here for over 3 years as a foster.
Wow.
So
And I'll tell you, he's a handsome boy. Okay,
he is.
but he's a little guy, right?
He's what?
He's a little guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's only about 80, 85 pounds.
Yeah.
So he's pretty small.
And I'll tell you, looking at, what did you just groom him?
He was just, at the groomer, yeah. So he's
Wow.
got his fancy little bandana and everything from the groomer.
Wow.
He's beautiful.
Yeah. So
Good looking dog.
He is. He's great. And he has a very, very sweet personality, but he definitely needs a special person that will give him the time to show that personality.
Because he's not the easiest dog in the world. So.
No, he's not.
Well, technically, he's a nut job.
Yeah. He was pretty poorly treated as a puppy. So he has one leg this leg actually is shorter than the rest because it was smashed and the growth plate shut down. So
So it's shorter.
yeah, this leg, hopefully I freaked him out doing that.
Bye, Takani.
Yeah, that leg is a bit shorter than the rest, but it doesn't slow him down at all.
Now, Bella, is this your first time fostering for Great Pyrenees Rescue Montana?
No, I fostered Waylon, who is now also an alumni. He was my first, and he lasted all of about 2 hours before my brother and sister-in-law fell in love with him on just text, chat, pictures, and so they started the adoption process.
So,
He's been
so
there.
the key to, if you have a long-term dog, send them over to Erica. Her family looks like her family are going to take them. Okay.
Yeah, that's what Rebecca teases. Rebecca teased me that I was a good luck charm at first because she was trying to set us up with foster, and the first 2 dogs that she had set up got adopted before I even got them. So I said, okay, well, all you need is just for me to say yes, I'll take them.
Yeah,
But then, it is pretty funny that Waylon got adopted by my brother and then Odin by the parents. So.
How has your experience been with the rescue? Now, this can be good, bad, or whatever. Because if it's good, we want to hear it. If it was bad, if it's not so good, Carol wants to hear it, so she knows what she has to be looked at.
It's been amazing. It's been awesome right from the start. Rebecca's been my main contact that I've talked to the most. Sarah and Shelly helped me immediately with Waylon because he got a little over interested in my kitty, so they hooked me up with a kennel. Poor Rebecca is literally available 24/7, although I try to be respectful with the time. But it's been fabulous. They're so good. They're so kind. They're so helpful. They will get you anything you need to help take care of the dogs. And I've literally been told that for Bella, whatever she needs. Let's keep her happy and healthy here.
That's right.
So,
because this is rescue. They're not going to sit by knowing somehow they would have gotten her out somewhere along the line.
Right.
Because the followers of this rescue are amazing. You hear that, folks?
Right.
You guys are amazing. All right. Because it's the Montana Rescue is not a big rescue. Okay. It's and they have dogs in boarding that they're adoptable too. We're trying to get it set up where we do a remote show from that facility.
Yeah.
We're working on it. They got Wi-Fi installed now, and they brought him up to the year 2022 now. So we might be able to do that. Now, Leah, is this your first time fostering?
It is, yeah.
And so far, what do you think? Other
I
than
love
the perfect peer.
I mean, I was gonna say we really lucked out with just the perfect peer for our first rescue. It's been absolutely phenomenal. We actually got into it because we saw a post about another. Oh my goodness! Hello, about another peer that was in need, and we reached out to Rebecca. And after going through the application process and everything, that initial dog that we had seen had already found a foster home, which was great. So she asked if we would be interested in taking a different dog, and we said absolutely.
And
But
there he is.
and there he is. He's kind
And
of
he
hiding.
made it. Now he was in the shelter. The people that had them did take him to the shelter. Is that correct?
From my understanding, yes.
Okay. Now, um, one of the dogs, I think you said, I think it was Rico, had to wait an extra little bit of time because Bella, I think she came out first, didn't she?
She
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Okay. And he had to make new friends in the shelter for a couple more weeks, didn't he?
Yep.
Because apply now because the process isn't instant, right?
Correct.
You actually lost the dog you wanted to foster initially because the process. All right.
Yes.
And the process is very important, okay? Because this breed
Immensely.
is not for everybody. And I'm sure Erica can tell you that. She's got experience with the breed. This is your first Great Pyrenees. And they try hard to match the best they can the dog with the home. But when they're coming out of a shelter, that gets very challenging to be able to
Right.
even do that. And we count on the foster homes to, well, let us know how the dog is. And you still have a cat, so he's probably good with cats. And
Yeah.
but you know what? I mean, I personally, with people that say the dog hates the cats, well, they're not going to just get rid of their dog. They call for help. And I've never lost a cat yet. All right. And I've never lost an infant yet to the Pyrenees. So I guess I better shut up because I'm going to be jinxing. So what would you say, Leela and Erica? I will ask you the same question. What would you say to somebody that says, I don't dare foster? I would keep every one of them, so I can't foster. What would you say to somebody that said that to you?
Well, one, of course, foster fails are the only good fail. um, but it's been, I highly recommend it. It's been so rewarding. And my husband was the one who initially suggested that we start fostering dogs. And after having Rico for a couple weeks, he said, I can see why fostering is so important and so beneficial for these dogs. Because not only does it get them out of the shelter, but they're able to thrive in a way
The
that
shelter has no way of knowing what kind of boy he is.
exactly. And so as he has come out of his shell, after, I mentioned when we first got him, he was pretty lethargic. But as he's been with us over the weeks, we have completely seen his personality come out. He is the sweetest boy. So I highly recommend fostering. It is so immensely rewarding. And again, the goal is to get him into a forever home so we can foster another dog. So instead of,
Callie's
one,
really going to re-loving life, isn't she?
it's
Hey, I wore that one out. You got me a new one. Cool. Thanks, Mom.
so I mean, there's nothing more rewarding than that, than being able to find them, a home where that they're going to be loved and cherished, and then being able to bring another dog into your life for a short amount of time so you can help them find that as well.
So that's amazing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm going to bring Erica up now because before I ask you the question, we mentioned briefly that Bella had at least one litter of puppies. And I just found out when I talked to Carol recently that two of those puppies are in rescue.
Right.
Wow. So did you get mom, dad, the kids, everybody?
It sounds like it was Bella and Reef. Yeah, that was actually part of one of the posts. Was the two pups? I think at the time of posting, one was in foster, one had a forever home. Let's pull mom and dad too, and make them alumni as well. So, which it took a little turn for Bella, but Rico is hopefully well on his way to becoming an alumni as well. So,
We'll see. We'll see. The cool part about Rico, The cool part about rescue, fostering, is that what other job can you get where failure is actually a good thing?
Right. Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, and I couldn't say it any better than Leila said. Everything she said is an awesome point about fostering. And basically, if you're worried about failing, well, then that's at least one dog
the
that's
dog's not going to have a problem with that.
Right.
right, right. So, and then if you foster fail, just go find someone in your family to open up their home as a foster, or grab a friend or something. So,
And always,
replace yourself as the foster home.
and always remember when you get a Great Pyrenees and you get through the process, um, this is a commitment. These are forever dogs, not until
Definitely.
dogs.
Absolutely.
Okay. And Chico and Henny, is that, I think that's what that says. Those are their,
Yep, Chico and Henny were the pups that were also went through rescue.
and how about that? Rebecca's watching the show. I'm glad the rescue supports their show. So now, what would you say to the person that says, I can't do it? Well, you already answered that. Now, I had somebody say they can't afford to foster. So, how much does it cost to foster? Is this an expensive situation? Our economy is not the greatest right now.
It is not. They'll tell you when you do your first kind of intake questions and everything that they cover everything. They don't expect you to pay for anything. They're amazing. They have all different resources to help you out, whether it's sending food to you. Obviously, all of Bella's medical care has been covered.
They
So
provide the food for some dogs, or all dogs, most dogs, or um,
So
not.
they kind of leave it up to you what you're comfortable with, but they tell you it won't cost you anything.
Okay.
They will cover the food. They will cover the medical care. They just ask you to provide the home and the love.
There you have it.
So
Now, the Fosters, you made it happen. You've got a dog there that is living probably the best life she's ever experienced at this end term of her life.
we
All
hope
right.
so.
So the Fosters make it happen in rescue, but you donors, you guys make it possible. Okay. Without donations, there's nothing happening. Without donations, they can't say that we'll take care of everything. They can't do it. Okay. So help the rescues, help the dogs. All right. That means you're a part of it now. You are now a part of it. All right. You're in that loop. You're a part of the village. And, you know, village isn't so bad. Is she asleep, or did she pass away on us?
Oh, no, she's just asleep. I know.
Sometimes my mouth doesn't know what the hell it's doing. Um, Now, I guess I got a question here. Did they tell you, how do you know what to look for when, or is it going to be obvious when you got to say, oh my goodness?
So it's all about quality of life, and there's lots of different resources for that. Like I said, I work for a veterinarian, so I'm kind of at an advantage there. I could pull up the quality of life scales that we send to our clients. So it's
I'd
all
like
about.
to have one of those because if my quality of life's not good, I'm going to you.
We'll put you out to pasture, Steve. But yeah, it's just basically pain. Obviously, pain and suffering is the number one thing that we want to avoid. And she definitely seems comfortable, happy. Given that it's her front leg, it's going to be fairly obvious if she's struggling. And even if we're controlling the pain, if she's not having mobility, that's going to be an issue. Eating, drinking, the basics.
And
So those are the
somewhat
kind of
what the
things that
dog
we'll look
is
for.
used to doing. And from a behavior standpoint, look at your dog. As your dog, for example, Charlie, my boy had degenerative myelopathy. Pronounce it for me. Myelopathy. Sorry. And well, he was doing good for a while. When it started transmitting to his front legs, he had fear in his eyes.
Mhm.
Okay, he's a livestock guardian breed. He was a mighty Great Pyrenees, and you can't that it depends on the dog, right? You're the vet.
Right, absolutely. So I'm grateful that I had no idea when we went and picked her up if we were talking days, weeks, what we were talking. So I'm grateful that I have had her. I think we've got about 8 weeks under our belt now, so that I can get to know her. Because my greatest fear was, how will I know? Because I don't know this dog. But she's done so well, and
She's
it's
appreciated.
given me time to get to know her and learn to read her better. So I'm grateful for that.
Wow. Now, when you go to work, do you just take her with you?
Actually, one of the pictures she showed in her little video where she was laid out in the messiest room in the house, she just lays by me because I work from home. So I work in what we call the fur room, and she typically just lays next to me today. So
All right. I kind of like that picture too.
I love
yeah,
that.
When I first
that's
looked at it, I thought somebody cut her tail off.
oh no, tucked under.
Now,
Yeah, my husband calls that her pillow fort because sometimes we'll put the pillows up on the back, and when she jumps up, she knocks them off onto herself, and then she just stays under 'em. It's pretty silly. So kind of like Leela's seen Rico's personality come out. We've had the great opportunity to get to know Bella, and she's kind of silly. So
wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for wanting to even do what you wanted to do. Nobody asked you. You went, and no way she is going to stay in that shelter. That ain't happening. And the
right.
shelter was so appreciative. He stayed late on a holiday so you could get her out of there.
They did. I was just expecting Kevin, but I've really got to give kudos to South Salt Lake Animal Services because I honestly think the whole gang was there. The
Wow.
supervisor stayed. There was Kevin. There were 2 more employees, and they all just kind of really gave her a nice send off, and they were amazing. So, and of course, a million kudos to Rebecca because she was frantically coordinating the whole thing between Kevin and me, and texting and calling, and so yeah, the ladies with rescue are outstanding.
Now, can you imagine when you said yes, the relief they felt?
They told me all about it. So Rebecca, obviously, because we talked on the way down, and then I could see it in their faces at the shelter because they were just brokenhearted. They didn't want to have to euthanize her that night,
Right.
but they
So-
thought it was the only humane thing to do. So they
Right.
were so grateful and so wonderful.
So, everybody out there watching, if somebody you know is giving a shelter a hard time because they euthanized a healthy dog or what, always remember they don't want to do that. Okay, with rescue, if they don't have room, rescues all they can do have to do is say no. These folks in these shelters, they have to go through. Well, they may have to euthanize a healthy dog because they're on contract and they are required. If they're on contract, they're required to take the stray in somehow, some way. We're in some times right now that I hope we get out of them and never go back. It seems like some one person dumps her dog. Okay, we can all do it. Let's all do it at once. Shelters are overwhelmed. There is no room, and states are unprepared. All right, it's too. I mean, some states, some areas are building new shelters. Okay, my Ohio is, but you know what? They started too late. They needed them now. Okay, so if you're surrendering, if you need to get rid of your dog because of behavior, call a rescue for the breed. They might be able to help you without you losing your dog. Because I know a lot of folks that they feel they have no other option. They don't think the dog is happy. Wait a minute. Did you ask the dog? All right. Always include your dog in the equation. I happen to know Kelsey does that. And if you're new to the breed, there's your website right there. It's dogornothing.com. Okay. That's the only place you have to go, is right there if you want to learn about the breed. You don't have to Google it. As a matter of fact, I recommend not Googling it. There's a lot of misinformation about
Yeah.
the breed, too. So Kelsey's got it going on, and she knows how to relay it to me and you where we can understand. She gives training tips, but she shows you on video. Okay. And that's you doing it too, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. because you happen to be the one that's there.
Yep.
And she's got a nice pack of dogs, and a couple of them starting to get a little older now, aren't they?
Yeah, I have two that are about to turn 9 and 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
But this is just the breed that is getting a raw deal. Okay, they're getting a raw deal, and look at what they can do. They can go out in the field, protect your prize livestock without any direction from a human. Think about let that one sink in for a minute. All right, they can a lot of them can identify birds, a good bird from a bird of prey from 50 feet up. That's pretty cool. And then some of them, if a fly farts, it scares the heck out of them. They start barking to intimidate it to stay away. So they're never a dull moment with Great Pyrenees. Never. So, and now, Leila, you said that Rocco was your first, right?
Yes.
Or Rico, I mean. So your adventure started on the 14th approximately.
Yes, it did.
And I like to put it that way because there's never a dull moment with the Great Pyrenees. There really
There is never a dull moment.
right, everybody. Now, on that point, I'm going to quickly cover some myths. Do you live with a reactive dog? Okay. Reactive dogs. Some people are going to tell you, well, he's doing that because you're not firm enough. No, there's your myth. I'm going to turn this into a PDF and I'm going to put it out there somewhere along the line. He's probably being reactive because you're too firm. Okay. This is a thinking guardian breed. All right. And there's more to that. Now, well, um, it says your dog must have been abused. That's not necessarily true. Reactive, dogs can react out of being nervous or uncomfortable, and the worst one is being afraid of you. Okay,
Right.
so then another myth is the dog is protecting you. Okay, I'm in Ohio. You guys are everywhere. I don't have my address out there, so I can say this. You're not all that. The dog's not protecting you. He's protecting himself. Okay? Himself, self preservation. So I get a lot of calls myself that, and you can sure mistake it for that. Looks like your husband walks in, dog's laying with you, and he growls. Oh my God, I can't get near my wife anymore. Well, some people might like that. Well, most don't though, because it's their house and the dog doesn't have a job, so he's kind of freeloading, and dad gets growled at. He's not protecting mom. He's he's protecting himself because somewhere along the line we got the wrong attachment. All right. And always remember that. Another myth is your dog needs socialization. Well, I don't know what to say. Reactive dogs who are anxious, it's not it's not they need socialized and be around triggers. Those are triggers a lot. That's probably why he's reactive. Okay, because you're forcing him into a relationship without his consent. All right. And always remember when you bring your foster dog home, this is where fostering is. These fosters are so amazing. They're aware of that. Nobody asked, the dog didn't call them up and say, hurry up, come get me, please. We went and took them and forced them into a relationship in your home. But you know what? They know how to do it. Look at Rico. Look at whoever that is right now. And look at Bella. They're not rebelling in any way, shape, or form because they know how to do this. All right. Um, but if you meet the dog's needs, there's nothing to react to. Okay. And always remember, half the time when a dog is food aggressive, the food really didn't have anything to do with it. Always remember that. And but those are the myths. I will turn this into a picture and I will post it in the comments. Hopefully, I don't think we're streaming any groups, are we? Yeah, oh yeah, we're streaming to the Colorado um, group. Um, hey, Erica. Oh
Mhm.
no, I'm sorry, Leela. Anna
Yes.
says Rico needs a serious brush.
We're working on it.
and she's aware of it. Rico, and you know, Leela realizes that, but Rico, well, he wasn't quite ready yet, was he?
Look at his face.
But he is improving,
It's hard to believe, but he looks so much better than he did when we got him a month ago.
and he's doing so much better with the brush. You can't, you
Yes.
really, you really have to. If the dog doesn't want brush, don't brush him. Period. Okay. The reason he doesn't want brushed is, well, first of all, don't go and start on his hiney
Right.
because he'll throw you around like a rag doll, probably.
Yeah, we don't want that.
It's sensitive back there.
Yes.
Okay. It hurts.
Yes.
Now you've associated pain with that brush, and he's not going to let you do it. And he's big enough to back it up. He can put his money where his mouth is. He's gorgeous, though. And look at him. Man. Um, uh, I guess I like Great Pyrenees, don't I? So, but, oh, she says, okay, this is my first time on here. Oh, look,
It's all good.
there never was any hard feelings, all right?
Not at all.
And please come back. This is a free for all. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to give you the link. Come up as a guest and sit next to us, all right? We can do that. And we're going to start doing that. If you have questions for Q&A for behavior, come on up. Ask me direct. If I can't answer it, we'll go knock on Roman's door, so to speak. He'll come up. We're going to get him back on here and have a Q&A show. The Montana folks, he had a good following here. The reason he's not here, he got busy. Okay, he got busy. So I'm going to read what Ann has to say. Thank you for interacting, Ann. I was starting to really nobody was there. No need to tell you. Okay, she has Chinese crested powder puffs. They don't have hair, do they?
They do.
Do they have hair? Chinese
Yes.
crested? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See what? I've been with the Great Pyrenees for 34 years now. No other breed. So it's not my fault. Okay. It's a mental disorder. It has to be. All right. Ann, thank you so much for watching the show. That's kind of supporting us. And if you like it, come back. If you don't come back. Nobody's going to be upset. All right. So
Not at all.
that's not what this is about at all. Because we don't run the show. The dogs run the show.
The
Period.
dogs definitely run the show.
Yeah.
And so is he, and I was going to ask about Bella too, because I noticed in Bella's pictures and in Rico's that they both seem to be full of expression, like body language, facial expression. Rico especially. But Bella, I picked it up there too. Am I wrong about that, Erica?
No, definitely. I actually kind of noticed from a couple of Rico's pictures that they had a really similar smile with the face out the window.
I think they're siblings.
It's the best pictures I have of Bella with her face out the window and the wind in her face and the sun on her hair. And there was a picture that looked just like that of Rico. So,
And I dropped the ball and didn't get it uploaded into the platform. And it's my fault. And if you drive out from Montana or Utah to Ohio and kick my ass, I'll let you. Okay? And just tell us what you want for dinner, because my wife would be happy to have you kick my butt because she's starting to get old. When you marry somebody that can whoop you, that's what happens. You just have they keep you in line. Keep the ball, keep the fire burning that way, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, Rico's going to do well. He's going to get out there, and now that they know firsthand from his foster, he's gonna do well. I thought they were hairless and hairy are puffs. Okay, is that their names, or is that I never mind. Don't get me any more confused. I live a life of confusion. You don't have to add to it. Okay. Wow, everybody. An hour's gone already. And we did I think I'm very, very happy with this show tonight, because we got Erica on here. Erica has
Look at Bella.
she has stepped up to the plate. And you know what? Let me see her. Look at her.
She was
That's the loving one.
about to roll on her back, but then she got stage fright.
She
Snuggle her. We're so glad you've got us on tonight and get her story out and raise some awareness for this kind of fostering as well as.
Now you mentioned that you're telling her story on Facebook. Is that a Facebook profile, or is it the Montana page, or where is that happening if somebody wanted to find it?
So I put it on my page, but then I also share it to the Great Pyrenees Rescue Foster page. But I can also see about sharing it to just the Great Pyrenees Rescue page.
Why don't you get with Rebecca to see how to get that out there?
Yeah.
All right. If you'd like to follow Bella, then we're going to see if we can make that happen, and we will let you know next Saturday. Evening or Saturday, depending on what time zone you're in. So.
Yeah. But thank you for having us, and thanks for sharing her story.
Yeah, and yeah. Oh, you're down there in Arkansas. Okay. Nam said there's a lot of rescues in Arkansas, both purebreds and crosses, and yeah, there's the Missouri Rescue, the National Rescue. There's a lot of, and Big Fluffy. They all pull dogs out of Arkansas. But I'm gonna tell you, it's got to stop. It's got to at least slow down. This is the worst it's ever been, and I was in rescue for almost 9 years. I've never seen it this bad. Something's got to give. You can't keep getting a dog and then a year or two later have it not be convenient anymore, because it really does damage to the dogs. It really does. Okay. Then you say, oh, well, you're fostering. Yeah, no, they know what they're doing. We know how they're enriching the dog. Now, long-term foster like Takani, yeah, that's going to be, if an adopter comes up that Kelsey approves of, like prying the dog out of her cold dead hands, similar to that. All right, then we're going to work on that on a behavior standpoint. We can do it easily. That's a long term. He's been over 2 years, right, Kelsey?
Over 3 years.
Over 3 years. Okay.
Wow.
That's going to be not the easiest transition. We can make it to where it's easy. Okay. Yeah. The rescues know how to do this, and if the individual foster doesn't, they will, because they have the village behind them. They have all of the rescue at their fingertips. Okay, and that's the cool part about it. And Bella is I don't know, but let's get her out there. And if you guys want to follow, but man, if you can donate to her care, those meds aren't cheap. All right. Well, gabapentin is, I know that. But anyway, well, in Utah, they may not be cheap. We don't know. All right. Because, man, their laws suck for the guardian breeds. They classify them as livestock. So why wouldn't the meds be more money in Utah than it would be in, say, Ohio? But, hey, state by state. And that is one heck of a dog you have there, Erica.
Yeah, she's pretty special. We love her a lot.
She's so.
And, where the show for tomorrow, Colorado is going to have a happy adoption story. Eve got adopted. But unfortunately, it took the loss of Cody in order for Eve to be able to be adopted. And so we're going to have all of that on. And you almost got to see Gordon tonight in Colorado because I uploaded the wrong. We do 2 shows, one show on Saturday, one show on Sunday, and sometimes I get confused because I'm an old man. All right. But that dog right there with Kelsey will never confuse me. Well, he just did. Is that Takani?
No, this is Maja.
Okay, forget that. But you know what? You got to make fun of somebody sometime, don't you?
Yep.
All right. And I can take it. Okay, really can. All right, everybody, we're going to get out of here. We're just having, this is a free for all. Didn't I tell you is this going to be a free for all, Casey or Kelsey?
Yes, you did.
Yep. Because the dogs run the show, and and anytime you want your dog to do something, you have to make it fun for the dog. Okay.
Absolutely.
So always remember that they will respond much better and quicker without resistance if you make it fun for them. Okay. Okay. Well, Thank you guys. Thank you very, very much, Erica, for bringing her on
Thank
and
you for having us.
and just caring, not letting her lose her life alone. Okay, and because that's going to mean a lot to the most to her. The last thing, I mean, this is great, and I really have a lot. I don't know that I could do that. So, and then Mr. Rico, I'm going to tell you, all eyes are going to be on Leela and Rico. Does he go or does he stay? All right. Um, for me, I don't. It doesn't matter. The rescue's in the business to adopt dogs. Okay. If they don't want to lose a foster, but if that's what it takes, they're willing to. But
No matter who he ends up with, they're going to love him.
that's right. And if you apply for Rico, you have to be well, at least as good a home as what Leela's providing for him. And that's the way it was with Erica when she had her fosters there. If you didn't have at least a good a home as hers, man, don't waste everybody's time. All right. If you want the dog to make all the concessions, you need to get a different breed. All right. Because these dogs don't make that many concessions. That's why they're not for everyone. Except Rico, he's an exception to the rule, isn't he? Holy cow. So, anyway, everybody, sorry to keep you on here. Sometimes it's hard to shut me up.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Okay.
Thanks for having us too. We appreciate it.
All right, and thank you so much. I'd like to have Bella on again sometime, but I'll be able to when you guys get her posting on a structured site. I'll follow it too.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah. So all right, everybody. Well, for
Bye.
some of you folks, we'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.